Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Bookshelf of Fairies and Foxes. My name is Camille. Today I am going to be reviewing Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. But first I wanted to talk about a few things happening in the YA world. First of all, congratulations to Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give, which has now been #1 on the New York Times YA bestseller list for, I want to say, 82 weeks now, and the movie of it is coming out this week on Thursday, so it promises to be very good, so definitely go check that out. Second, Y'all Fest is next month. They announced the schedule for the Friday day of it last week, I believe, and I'm so excited. I'm going to 2 of the keynote speeches. One is Jenny Han and Morgan Matson, and the other one is James Patterson and the authors whose name I don't want to pronounce incorrectly, but it's a Japanese mythology story that she's written, and it's coming out in November. It's called Girls of Paper and Fire, and I'm really excited for it. And then lastly, happy book birthday to The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. It came out yesterday, October 2nd, and I've already started it, and it's super good so far. I'm so excited to keep on reading it. It's so good. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything otherwise because I love The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. It's one of my favorite books, and I just love these covers too. So that's what's happening there, and now I'm going to continue on with my late review for Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. I just have so many feelings about this book. So many feelings, and I knew I was going into it, just based on the synopsis. I really enjoyed To All the Boys I Loved Before, and I even more enjoyed P.S. I Love You. I Still Love You? It's P.S. I Still Love You. And I enjoyed those to the point where I even wrote my own love letter and addressed it and everything. Didn't put a stamp on it. Partly because I don't know where I have stamps, and also because I don't want to waste the stamp, and it's just sitting in my journal and it's going to stay there forever, and hopefully I will not be like Lara Jean and my younger sister won't send it out. But I doubt it will, because I live in a different state than my sisters, unlike Lara Jean. But yeah, so I really liked the first 2 books, and I love this one so much. It's easily one of my favorite books ever. It's definitely on my favorites list on Goodreads now. I just love it so much. I think it's the first book I've read since Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell that I've just really identified with, like, on a spiritual level. So Always and Forever, Lara Jean picks up several months after P.S. I Still Love You. I believe it's almost a year after, I think. And it's winter of Lara Jean and Peter's senior year, and they're waiting to hear back from colleges, and her father is proposing to their neighbor Mrs. Rothschild, and everything's going right in Lara Jean's world. Her sister is visiting, and Kitty is growing up, and she and Peter are planning their future together at UVA, where they both desperately want to go, and Peter already knows he's going to because he has a sports scholarship there, and Lara Jean is just waiting to hear back. And one of the reasons why I knew I was going to like this book and identify with it is because basically from the information on the back cover, you know that she's not going to get into UVA. Because it's talking about how she's having the best senior year. She's going to be heading off to college with Peter at a school close enough for her to come home and bake on the weekends. At least that's what she thinks, until she gets some unexpected news. And that's literally what happened to me in college. I wasn't in a relationship, so I wasn't worried about that part, but I was basically guaranteed to get into this college that I desperately wanted to go to, and I got the letter and I didn't get in. And then we were like very close to, my parents and I were very close, had grown very close to the admissions counselor I was working with, and they were like, oh yeah, just send in a portfolio, you're definitely gonna get in. And I still didn't get in, and I was devastated. It was Lent, and I had given up chocolate, and my mom bought me a tub of chocolate ice cream to eat. Because she knew I needed to eat my feelings. And so my college admission story is very similar to Lara Jean's. And then she finds this other college she really wants to go to, but then she doesn't know if she should or if she wants to, because of Peter. Because she wants to be with him, but she also can tell that long distance is going to be very hard. Oh my gosh, there's so many feelings. I have so many feelings. I knew going into this that it would be an emotional book, but that I would identify with it. I believe I started reading it in the first half of May, because I knew it was going to be about not being rejected from a college. I knew it was going to be about discussion of long distance relationships, which I was in one at the time when I started reading this, and I was just really excited to be able to read a book, one, where a character is thinking about doing a long distance relationship, two, where they get rejected from a college they desperately wanted to go to. And because those are things that you don't really see a lot in novels, especially YA novels. And even contemporary YA. Like, even if it's in their senior year, they're still kind of figuring out where they're going. And then I guess in, what's it called? Yeah, in Leah on the Offbeat, in the Simon versus the Homo sapiens world, Simon and Bram end up deciding to go to colleges a little bit farther away from each other than they originally had decided on. But like, still, they're not that far away. It's only a couple hours. But I think that's the only book I've ever read where they talk about doing long distance relationships, and they talk about coming up with their own futures and deciding to do the hard thing, but also the right thing. And I just loved it so much, and that this book was going to be talking about this stuff. And reading it, especially with like her experience with like not getting into the college and stuff, I felt like I was reading my own story and my own reactions of and having to deal with disappointment and rejection. You don't have to, like, this stuff you don't see this stuff very much in YA literature or even any literature at all. And I was just so happy to see it. It was just written so realistically. Her character was so well done. Lara Jean had such a great amount of growth. Oh, and I just want to say, I just love Lara Jean's relationship with her family. Margot, her older sister, I still can't really get into that. I don't like her character. She annoys me. She acts really selfish and is obnoxious and annoying. And I never really understood why she's supposed to be such a great character. I just don't like her. She's so annoying. She's very selfish. So I just needed to get that out. Yeah, so Just putting that on the table. I don't like Margot, but I love Kitty. I love the dad. I love Trina, her father's fiance, and Lara Jean and Peter are just so cute, and I love their relationship and the place that they've gotten to at this point. This was also the first book in something like 11 years that I've cried while I read it. There was one bit close to the end where it was very similar to an experience that I had to go through, and it was also something I'd never really seen in a book before, and it just made me so emotional, and I full out sobbed, which I've never done in a book, and I haven't cried really cried in a book since at least high school, and definitely since Harry Potter and reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and that came out when I was what, like 12? That was, I'm 23 now, so if that tells you anything. I love books and I cry in movies all the time. I don't cry in books all the time, even when they make me super emotional. So if that tells you anything about how good of a book this is, definitely pick it up. I just really liked the way that Lara Jean and Peter were trying to navigate their future without having to give one each other up, and also just trying to figure out who they are as people and young adults. And I just loved seeing that, especially as that's something I'm still trying to deal with. I've graduated college, I have a job, I have a full-time job, I have benefits, I have all of this, but I'm still young and I'm still trying to navigate the world, and basically going out to college is where that journey starts, and I just liked really seeing that. Yeah, so Jenny Han's writing was just so good and relatable and well done in this book. It was definitely the best of the trilogy. I really wish we could see more about like what would happen afterwards. Like, I just kind of want a short story because it ends on like an optimistic note about what's going to happen. But like at the same time, it's not a given that it's going to like be the same. Lara Jean and Peter might not stay together, even though they love each other, and they've been with each other for a while, because long distance is hard, and they're gonna try. But that's the important thing. But yeah, so I just have so many feelings about this book. I love it so much. I was so excited to do this review. It took me forever to write one on Goodreads because I had so many emotions. I was just like, I can't write anything without just getting like, the whole time. So yeah. So definitely pick this up. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm going to be seeing Jenny Han at Y'allfest in November. Also, I just want to say I'm so happy that this series is set in Virginia, in an area that I kind of know, and just like in Virginia in general. I think the only other books that I know of that are set in Virginia is the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm from Virginia. I love anything that could be set there. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I can't wait to see Jenny Han. Hopefully I'll be able to get it signed and just tell her my feelings about this book. And also, definitely pick up a copy of The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. It's amazing so far. The first book in the series was amazing, and Monty and Percy are in it, and they're so adorable. Also, Felicity is just awesome. Her character is really being expanded upon in this book, and I'm only 2 chapters in, and I love it. So thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye!